Hello, this is Diego Mangabeira and welcome to BoringSales. Today we're going to talk about the follow-up formula and that doubles reply rates. We're going to check with you how your follow-up is working, but if you're not doing any follow-up, you're wasting a lot of money, right? Or even you are letting money on the table most of the time and you're not enjoying the process at all because you need to follow up. That's something that some companies do not do. They're wasting uh, not just money, but their time from their teams, from the management teams, and also they're avoiding to do the process correctly. Okay. Just bumping this up, there are some people who do that. Two words that have destroyed more reply rates than any bad subject line, or even just circling back, right? Something like that. That doesn't work. Follow-ups that will actually work, we're going to talk about it. And most follow-up strategies are related to this. Send emails, wait, send shorter email, just checking in. Most of the time the subject line or even in the body text is like that, and give up. That's not a strategy, that's organized pasturing. 80% of the replies in a sequence come after 2 hour touch, right? Or later, or even 2 days. It depends from the sales cycle time or even the how expensive or how cheaper is your product. But one thing that's really important, how you follow up matters as much that you do as you sell or whatever you do on a daily basis. If we're talking about the follow-up, there are 4 follow-up crimes. I'm going to share with you those 4 crimes right now. The first crime is naked bump. What's that? Hey, just wanting to follow up. You bring nothing, right? You leave. Uh, what's a follow-up? The person, what they're going to imagine that you receive that email as a salesperson, that makes sense for you. But if you receive from another vendor, for another stakeholder, would you open that email? Probably not. 0%. Crime number 2, the apology. Sorry to bother you again. That's another thing. Stop apologizing for doing your job. You need to follow up. That's it. Uh, an excuse. And I remember that I was reading about philosophy or psychology. I forgot which book I was reading, but if we start a sentence, we start a conversation apologizing ourselves, we are considered that we are not in the equal pattern that the other person. And most of the time, when you are like that, you're like a servant, the person will not recognize you as an authority. So if you're not authority, I'm not going to open your email. It's like a subconscious trigger, but that makes sense, right? Because the person is not going to reply you anyways. Crime number 3, the passive aggressive. I've sent several emails now. Guilt isn't a sales strategy. Okay. And it doesn't make sense, right? If we're thinking that way, uh, whatever, guy, whatever, right? It doesn't matter if you're sending a lot of emails. I'm not going to open, I'm not going to do business with you. Crime number 4, the copy and paste. And because of AI, everybody's doing this. That's why you need to not avoid. Okay, there's not a AI problem. It's the way that you use AI. That's the real problem, real deal here. Same email, following up on this at the top, right? You use it. Everybody knows that that's not legit or that's not real. It's a copied email or the same email that you're sending for everybody. The follow-up formula that I'm going to share, it really works. It was tested, and I'm going to share three types that you could use on a daily basis. And one thing that I'm going to advise you to do is to test it. Okay, try to test this formula independent of your CRM system. But as soon as you have a follow-up strategy, you can always try to customize your own way. Okay, every follow-up does one of the 3 things. Mark those words. The first is add value. Okay, The second one is reframe. And the third is create permission. So I'm going to repeat that. Every follow-up email is going to do three things, or one of these things, or two of these things. Add value, reframe, create permission. Okay, let's start with the type A, that's add value or value add. Don't ask, for instance, did you see my email? Okay, bring something new instead. So saw your company, okay, just announce, and then you can put the thing, the stuff that you're talking about, makes what I mentioned even more relevant. Okay, here's why, and then you can mention one sentence. So you are recognizing something that's important to that person. So you create like a connection. If you were talking about NLP, for instance, neuro linguistic programming, we are connecting, right? Emotionally saying you're talking about something that's really important. So you create like emotional connection, but instead of just saying words, you're trying to also bring your value. That's really important. Okay. If you do that correctly, that's important to say. The type number B is reframe. Remember the reframe. So shift the angle instead of pushing the same pitch harder. I remember that I heard this as well on a show that I really like that's called Mad Men. I don't know if you like Mad Men or watch it, with Donald Draper. John Hamm is the actor who does Don Draper, and that's a fictional uh, 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 character, but the story is really good. I like it. And there's an episode that Draper says to, I forgot the other folks there, but he says, if you're talking problem, I think it was related to Lucky Strike. I think that's the first episode, if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, uh, instead of insisting of doing the same thing that the competitors are doing, change the subject. That's the same goal here. Okay, the refrain. So you can use something like this. My last email focused on X, so you can try to to share that, to focus on that for a company at your stage. Y, okay, the next X or the next Z might be a better starting point. So instead of insisting on this argument, you are bringing another argument, not an argument per se, but you're suggesting something different. Most of the time, people likes that because if that didn't work, it might work now. So you have, instead of 100% in just one opportunity, you're going to have 50-50. Okay, that's better odds instead of just having one. Shows are your thinking, not templating or waiting for some random answer from the lead. Okay, that's number B. Type B. Type C that I already mentioned, it's related to the permission ask. Most underrated follow-up in existence. And how does that work? The wording is like this: if this isn't relevant right now, just let me know and I'll stop reaching out. Okay, that's like break, like let's quit. It's it has a really dimensional apparatus, or even a negative intention most of the time, because you are breaking up. Disarms the person, gets honest replies most of the time. Even not interested clears your pipeline. Sometimes you avoid to receive not interested, but I love to receive no, not interest, because I'm not interested. Because most of the time, you allow your time or save your time to try some words. Some folks down there, they're not going to buy your product or your service or whatever you sell. Okay, do not insist. So you might try to rotate this 7 touch sequence, right? Like I say, A, B, C. Okay, in this case, so it's going to be value add, reframing, permission, and different energy each time. So the person might, on this case, if you're trying different approaches, probably you're going to have and to receive new answers. In the timing, I can always advise about the tests that we did. The best days to send those emails are Tuesday and Thursday. So Tuesdays and Thursdays. And the best windows, if we're talking, it depends from your local time, so your time zone, but you might try from 7 to 9 a.m. or from 4 to 6 p.m. So 7 to 9 a.m. or even 4 to 6 p.m. your local time, so your own time zone. It's Eastern, try Eastern. If you're Central, Mountain, or Pacific, or Hawaiian, okay, you might try that. Monday morning, for instance, is an inbox chaos, so do not try to push anything like that. Or Friday afternoon, everyone is gone. Nobody wants to receive any other email or reply it. Okay, these are starting points, but test against your own ICP. And the best follow-up makes the prospect think, this person actually is prepared. He or she prepares something unique for me, and that's a 5 extra minutes worth it. And that's why I recommend to you start doing that you're going to have better results. Okay, I wish you a great day, and I always say keep it boring. Okay, have a good day. Bye. Cheers.